Okay, so I need you to explain to me, if I'm not trespassed, why I have to leave public property. If I'm not in a meeting, I'm not disturbing the meeting, I'm not going to cause any disruption to the meeting.
Because you've already been given your warnings, she,
To
as well
leave
as
the
the chief,
meeting.
is requesting that you leave the property.
They can request that I leave the meeting.
They're saying property.
Well, she's saying property.
She doesn't have that authority.
And so...
Hold on, sir. Give us a minute, okay?
Okay.
Mind just waiting over there for us?
So I just went through this. Sean, I got this.
I'm just going to bear witness.
Okay, well, bear witness over there because we don't need to both be in trouble.
No, I'm not in trouble.
You're not in trouble.
Yeah, nobody's in trouble.
No, because they gotta do RAS, reasonable articulable suspicion that she's committed a crime in order to trespass.
Well, I said she wasn't being trespassed, right?
So if I'm not trespassed,
Yep, it means
then
you
we can
return.
legally be here.
So, they're asking that you leave the property.
Asking,
It doesn't mean that
but
you can't come back to the property.
They're asking, but they
Okay, so
can't
you're not being
order.
warned of criminal trespass, meaning you can't ever return.
But they
It's
can't.
just you can't be here right now.
They can't order me off of the property because it's public property. I haven't broken any laws.
Okay.
I'm not
Because
causing.
of the meeting, they're wanting you just to be outside. Okay.
So there's a difference between outside and off the property. So I can
Yes,
stand right outside those doors.
If you are out in the park, like off the sidewalk in the parking lot.
No,
we're good
that's
with
still
it.
off the property though.
Correct. That's what I
Right.
said.
So you're saying outside. That's not like outside and off the property are two different
They
things.
want you off the property now.
But they under what legal rights?
I've already explained it to you, ma'am. You're not being warned of
No,
criminal
they're
trespass. They just want you off the property.
under
Have a
what
nice day.
under what legal right?
Okay. Do you want a supervisor then?
Please.
Okay.
Thanks.
3513. 3 out of 2.
Okay, I literally just went through this in district
I'm
court.
looking at it that you're violating her constitutionally protected right. You can't articulate.
So my sergeant,
She didn't violate
come
it.
in
She
in
hasn't
20
broken the
days.
law. So you can't do anything to it. Y'all don't have any authority. The mayor doesn't have any authority. The police chief doesn't have any authority for her to be safe in her own person, right? It's called the Fourth Amendment. She has a right to be here. This is public space. She's been kicked out of the meeting, right? But she can be in the public building.
Okay.
She can be on the public property as long as she hasn't committed or violated a law. Now, as soon as you can articulate that law that she's committed and broken, then you can enforce the trespass.
Okay.
But without that, she hasn't broken any law. She's only broken a rule. The mayor and Mr. Cagle or the chief, they don't have any power to kick anybody off of public space. That's like me telling you, get off my sidewalk. I don't have that authority. It's a sidewalk. It's open for the public use, period.
Right.
Now, you have to break a law, then you get detained and you go to jail.
Right.
So,
Right.
if she hasn't broken a law, there's nothing you can do.
So
The only thing that you have to do is you have to maintain your oath of office, right? In the scope of practice of what you got a degree for, which is to be a police officer. As soon as you break that oath, and you break that, scope of practice means I can sue you directly. You lose your color of law, right? Under color of law, lose your immunity, take your house, take your car, $1 million, pay me every month. I don't want that for you guys. That's why I told the chief to do that. That's why the mayor got a $20 million lawsuit coming. Because they violated my rights. I was like, you don't have the right. She doesn't have the authority to trespass. Mr. Cable doesn't. This is the public. They don't own it. They're elected officials and he's an employee. She hasn't broken a law. She broke a rule. Y'all don't enforce the rules. Right? Now, because right now she's telling you, she's turning you on into a thug. They know this last one, right? They turn you on to thugs, right? When they tell y'all, kick her out. Now I get it, the disruption, it's a rule.
Right.
She has it right underneath the 55 1.001.
Sorry, what can I do for you, ma'am?
I know you're talking. How
I
you
know.
doing? So, mayor kicked me out of the meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
I said fine. I had already been packing my stuff up.
Uh-huh.
Left willingly. I said I'm just going to stand right here. I'm not going to be an
No, I
interruption.
appreciate your time.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stand here quietly because I left the meeting as requested. Now I'm being told I have to leave the property. Well, first I was told I can go outside. Then it has to be outside, off the property, out of the parking lot. She can't have me removed from the property. I am not being trespassed. So I want to know under what legal ground I'm being told I have to leave the property. And just because she requested is not a legal ground for me to be removed from public property.
Okay, as far as being criminal trespass can be initiated and then uninitiated at any point in time. This is city property. The city official says.
So am I being criminally
that-
trespassed?
That's what they're asking you to do. That you need to leave.
Under
the
what
property
grounds
now,
am I being criminally trespassed?
That you were causing a disturbance in there.
I left there.
They asked you to leave the property.
Yeah.
That's what it was put
She-
down to me. I wasn't in the meeting.
Right. She doesn't have the authority to have me removed from the property, whether she wants me or not, to request. I'm not going to cause a scene.
I never said you were.
Right.
And she
All
did
I'm,
the law.
Hold on.
all I'm
talking to her right now.
asking,
Okay.
I know,
all
I
I'm
just wanted to
asking
get
is
that.
for, it's cold outside.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you have a
Let
ride or
me,
anything out
let
there
me,
right now?
let me just sit right here. I'm not. She won't even know I'm here.
Okay.
Unless she
That's not
comes
the
out
point.
back.
I was told that you needed to leave the property. That's what I was told.
So am I being criminally
You're
trespassed?
being criminally trespassed until the next meeting.
If I don't
And
leave, am I
insurance.
being arrested a second time on criminal trespass, which I just had the district court just kicked this out because she doesn't have the right or the authority.
Okay, on that one, it was a different agenda item, which were, from what I understand, you were allowed to come back in, but that was not allowed. I believe this was the last agenda item that they wanted you to
It
leave.
has nothing to do with the agenda item. It has everything to do with the fact that she has no right to trespass somebody from public property. They haven't committed a crime.
It is, you have committed a crime. You disrupted a
That
public
is,
meeting.
well, that is not the crime that I've been
But
charged
she's
with.
asked you to leave.
And I left the meeting.
And the property, ma'am.
But she doesn't have the authority to remove me from the property.
Yes, she does.
I
She's a
left
city
the
official,
meeting.
And the
Just
chief of
because she's a
police
city
has
official.
asked us to ask you to leave as well.
Just because she's a
So
city
I'm
official,
asking you that you need to leave the property.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Just because she's a city official doesn't mean she can tell people they have to leave public property. If I was at the park and a council member came up to me, they're still a public official, right?
Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh.
They can't tell me I have to leave the park because I ran where I wasn't supposed to be running.
If you violated something,
A
then yes,
rule,
they could.
if I violated
If
a
you
rule,
violated something.
a law. If I violate a law,
If
they
it's a city
can,
ordinance, if there's
a city ordinance,
a line that says don't come over here and you cross that or
a
something to
city
that effect.
ordinance or something, a restricted area.
ma'am. Uh-huh.
This is not a restricted area,
Okay.
okay?
This is the
There's no
property.
city ordinance,
This is the property, Miss Brown.
but she,
They have
okay.
asked you to leave.
So but I didn't violate a city ordinance.
You violated law by interrupting a public meeting.
Well, then she should have told me that I would be kicked out, that I would be arrested for interrupting a meeting or a procession, which, by the way, I've also won that in court because it's not a substantial enough disruption for me to say one
And
thing.
that's how you, I don't want to say play the game, but that's if you want to go and take it to court, that is your option and that is your right. You can do that. Our options and what we are being told to do is that you need to leave the property.
Wait. Let me just get this.
Uh-huh.
So I got 5 officers now.
And do you know the reason being? Is because normally we have 2 that are inside, but now because we're having issues out here, those 2 have to come in here. So now the city council is unsecured.
So we've had 5
So you need to
officers.
leave.
Well, the chief is in there, so it's not unsecured.
You need to leave. This is your last warning, or you will go to jail for criminal trespass.
She have to,
Ah.
I've already warned her of criminal trespass.
no, you have to, she has to be trespassed first.
I'm not
No,
listen.
criminally trespassed. I mean, she has
I'm
to
not-
come back.
warning. She needs to leave. She's being warned of criminal trespass. If she does not leave or she refuses to leave, she is subject to arrest. That's what criminal
No, I get that,
trespass.
but underneath Texas law, you have, once you're trespassed, right, you have to be trespassed first before you can get
That's
criminally
what we're
trespassed.
just doing,
And
sir.
criminally trespassed is that you leave and you come back.
Whoever has to leave.
Right.
No, it's not. It's the lack of leaving. It's one or the other. The lack of leaving, or you left and then you came back without
But
being
you can't be
invited
trespassed.
back.
Well, so you
I'm not
just
going to argue with you, sir. This is between me and her.
so you admit it though. I'm
Well, no,
getting my
that's okay.
stuff
I mean,
together.
okay.
It's just
I
look,
get it.
I've got an injured hand, so it takes me a little bit. So,
Yes.
but you just admitted that leaving and coming back, which is what I did last time I left. I came back.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
and you
from
violated
what I
your
understand, there was a
constitutional
different
rights.
agenda, which
And I
I
take
believe
offense to
that
that.
there was an issue that you were allowed
So
to
he's
come back after
violating
that
her
one
rights
agenda
as a
was
citizen,
on,
as a sovereign citizen in this
and
country.
not for the entire thing.
Well, so
That was what I heard anyways.
So why does it take all of y'all to sit there and bully her and intimidate her to leave?
I will say this.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll walk and talk. I'll walk and talk. As soon as that meeting adjourns, I have every right to be back on the property, back in the building, back inside. She can't stay for the entirety of the night or the day because who determines that? You can't say, well, at midnight.
No, it's
She
for
only
this-
has authority while the meeting is in session.
for this property for tonight.
What
You're-
does tonight mean? When does
Would you
tonight
like me
end?
to put a time? I can.
Well,
put-
I would like to know in general
You are not allowed
when it
back on
means.
this property until after the meeting is over.
until after the meeting is
Yes,
over.
ma'am. Okay.
So, and again,
And
what?
so if you want to come back in the morning, that's totally up to you.
Well, no. As soon as the meeting adjourns, I'm allowed on the property
Yes, you can.
because her authority, which she doesn't have the authority to do
I'm
this.
not gonna argue. You said you were leaving, and I appreciate
I-
you. So walk and talk. I'll be more than happy to walk with you.
I still, like I
Take the
said,
ramp?
yes, I'm taking your
Yes,
ramp.
ma'am.
I can't carry this today. So, like I said,
I like
though,
ramps too.
like I said, though, she doesn't have any legal authority to have people removed from the property
And
for violating one of her rules, which was not interrupting the meeting. She has done far more to interrupt meetings tonight than what I did.
Ms. Brown, I was just watching it on the TV. I could not hear those speakers in there. Do not pick up what's said or not said on the back end of it. I can only hear who's at the podium. So I don't know what all went on. I was just asked to come in there.
I made a comment.
Huh?
Just got Cosper, who was lying.
But you know as well as I do, there's certain recourses that you can go through as far as if you think she violated something, you can go that route.
But in the meantime, what is the legal authority to trespass me? I'm still trying to figure that out because by code, in order to trespass someone from public property, you have to violate a law.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
There is no reason.
So read me the code for why
For the
someone can be trespassed from public property,
The crib-
not private property, not.
It's almost verbatim the same difference.
Okay, but I would like to know
City
the
officials-
exact.
For this one, you violated the law, which she now has asked you to leave.
No,
On
I broke her.
On a private one, anybody can say, "I don't want you on this property," and then you have to leave. We come out, we tell you that you need to leave. You leave, you're good to
She
go.
can ask me to
If
leave
you
the
don't
meeting.
leave- well, she asked twice, and then she told you.
No, okay. But when she asked me to leave the first time, since you weren't in there, couldn't witness anything. You were in there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
By the time she asked me to leave, was I not already packing up my stuff to go?
Yes and no.
I was packing up my stuff, and then when she said, "Miss Brown, please leave," I said, "I am currently trying to pack my stuff up to leave."
So that was the second time. The first time you were just kind of standing there. And
No,
then
I was-
Hold on, let me finish real quick, okay? And then after the second time, you had the whole ordeal about handing your phone to somebody else.
Oh, I
Just-
did say that.
Correct.
But that was when we were already on recess.
Correct, but she
Yeah.
was asking you to leave.
So when it was
and that
on
delaying
recess,
your
so
time of
on
leaving, right?
well on recess she has zero authority anyway. Recess means the meeting is not in session. She
So
has
it's
zero
the point.
authority. But before she even asks me to leave the first time, before she banged the gavel and said, "Miss Brown, this is your second warning. Please leave," I was already packing my belongings.
Okay.
I can tell you because I came in and started packing my stuff because I knew the meeting was just about over.
Yep.
So I was already packing up.
Yep, you were.
She said, "Please leave." I was still packing my stuff. I said, "I am packing my stuff so I can go." That's when she said, "Miss Brown, now I am telling you, you have to leave." How is that disrupting? She's telling me I have to leave. I told her I am willingly leaving. I'm packing my belongings. I don't know what she expects me to do because if I walk away without them, now I'm in trouble. That's what she did. What they did last time. That's why I made the statement about the phone, because last time I had transferred custody of my phone. Apparently, the mayor and the city manager didn't realize it, so they told Chief Gearhart that it was an unattended item and to remove it and bring it out to me. So this time, I wanted it made very perfectly clear to everyone. My phone was there for a reason. Please don't touch it. I've transferred custody of it to someone else. Right?
Yep.
We were already on recess, so I can't interrupt something that isn't happening. So I was being very cooperative. I wasn't continuing to interrupt the
Just
meeting.
one more from Knights. No, like I said, you've been cooperating with me. I was asked to come in there to make sure that you left.
Because I
You-
want to know why she is still getting away
I've already told
with
you,
violating my rights.
I've told you numerous times, and
I-
I just need you to leave.
She
now.
can have
It's-
me leave the meeting. She can't have me leave the whole
She can-
fucking property.
she
She
and
has
any city
control
official
over
can-
that chamber.
Can have you leave any city property.
She has control over that
Ms.
chamber.
Brown, I'm not
If
gonna-
that's the case, then I could walk in there and she could be like, Miss Brown, I don't like you. I don't want you here. Go.
and then don't vote for her next time.
Well, no, but legally she can't do that because I have a legal right to attend meetings.
You do have a
Just
legal-
like I have the legal right to redress my grievances, just like I have the legal right to address my counsel.
legally. You are correct.
Legally? Okay, legally I'm correct.
No,
So-
what I'm saying is you have to do it the correct way. All right. This
Well-
is not the correct way by you still sitting out here and me going.
Oh, no, they
going
told
through
me
this.
I don't have to. As long as I'm on this side of the parking lot, I'm good.
No.
Said property.
This is the entire property. You have to be on the other side of the curtilage, which is the sidewalk or beyond. So there's a sidewalk. If you want to stay on the sidewalk, you're more than welcome to stay on the sidewalk. If you have a
Wait,
vehicle
every
here, I
other
would
time
stop.
they've allowed me to stand here because it's
No,
not
ma'am.
next to the road,
I was
because
asked-
that's right next to
I
the
was
road.
asked that you leave the property. There's no black and white with me. Property is property. I know where the curtilage is, which is right over there. And
Not
as
to
long
be a
as you
smart
leave-
ass puppet, I
Yes,
think you meant there's no gray area with you.
It's black and white. You are correct.
Okay.
So, but I don't want any ill will between you and I. I've known you for a long time. You've known me for a long time. I'm not here to press
And I've
my
always
authority
been
around.
chill, and
It's just-
I'm telling
I've
you
been
that
told
this
to do
is.
something. I'm gonna do it.
But I'm telling you that
and you know I would not do anything if it wasn't against.
So
if
I'm
it wasn't
telling
against
you,
the law.
I'm telling you that the case that got dismissed
Uh-huh.
was not dismissed because of two different meetings.
Yes, ma'am.
It was dismissed because she doesn't have the right to trespass somebody from the public property. Her limitations end with that city council chamber as far as the meeting is concerned. She doesn't have authority past that chamber. Once you get past those double doors there that lead out of the actual chamber itself,
Yes, ma'am.
that's where her authority ends. That's what the freaking county attorney's office just
But, Ms.
determined.
Brown, I've been told that you need to leave the property. That's why, and I can warn you of criminal trespass for any city building that I would wish for. That's what I've been asked to do. That's what we're going to do. So if you have a vehicle here, I would like for you to go and get your vehicle, and then you can drive off. Or if you want to stand on
I
the
can't
sidewalk,
because I still have a phone in there.
well, then you can stand on the sidewalk until they get out.
You're going to have me stand here along the sidewalk
Come over here
to
for
the
me, please.
shady
Come over here for me,
apartments.
please. Come over here for me, please.
Yeah,
Just there's a dog behind that boy.
What's up, pups?
two of them.
Hey, bubbies. I
Thank
just
you.
didn't.
Yeah.
I don't want any issues. Y'all go on.
See, and that's why if I stand up here, at least I'm under the light.
No, I hear you.
I'm trying to comply while look out for my own personal
Yes, ma'am.
safety,
No.
which is why I'm just
And I
saying,
want you to be safe too.
which is why I'm saying
But
I'm just
you
stay
also
under
have
this
to-
light
You
post.
also have, there's lights over there too.
Where?
The
If I
light
go
is
across
going
the
down
street?
Right, no, right here on the sidewalk now.
He's talking about like right there.
Ma'am.
Where
if
the
you-
dogs
if-
are coming up?
If you do not want to leave.
I mean, they didn't attack me. I walked it right up next to him, right?
but I don't know
probably
what
just
their
stray
intents
dogs.
are. So that was my whole deal. I didn't want you to think that
That's
I was
why I
coming
stepped
after you or
between
anything
you
like
and
that.
them, because
Yeah.
if I
Yes,
get bit, I get bit. I'd rather me get bit than you get bit, right?
And I like dogs, so I was just going to pet them to death.
Look,
But yes, Ms. Brown, if you don't want to leave the curtilage, that's fine, but you do have to leave the property, which is another 5.5 foot to your west. Okay?
this is going extreme now, Poppin'.
I'm just saying.
It's going extreme. I seriously, what harm am I causing if I stand directly under the light where I feel
Because
more safe?
Now it's right here. Next time it's, well, Officer Sergeant Poppin said I could stand here, and then it's over here.
No,
Next
because
time
I have not
it's
done
over
that at
here,
all.
then it's over here.
I
But
have
that's why
not
I'm
done that
gonna-
at all.
That's why I'm not
I
gonna do
didn't
anything with this.
even when AC
Yeah,
Gearhart,
sure.
because there's two of them.
Yeah.
Even when AC
Looking for a
Gearhart came out, in the same situation,
Uh-huh.
I stood. Well, I was at that light post, but I stood right under that light post and talked to Gearhart. Gearhart didn't have a problem with the fact that I was in the light because I'm not in the parking lot. I'm not on the city hall property.
Okay,
I've come
I'm not
past
gonna
our
split hairs
line.
with you. You correct me, and you were exactly correct. I don't do the gray area thing. It's black and white. City property ends right here on the other side of there. If you would like to go over there, you're more than welcome to stay there. But if you stay here, even much longer, I'm going to have this officer arrest you for criminal trespass. So would you please move? Or you can get in your car and vacate the parking lot. If your phone is still in there, you can wait, but you have to wait over here. Okay?
This is getting past the point of fucking ridiculous, and it's getting past the point where we're going to be able to be cordial about it. I don't want it to get there, but you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. For how many years have I been getting kicked out of meetings, and I sat inside? Like inside because it's fucking cold out, right? Or it's hot out, or whatever, right? I've sat right inside. There's never been another issue. Not once. You know the only reason why she wants me to leave the property is because I came back in for a second meeting once. That's it. So next time, so let's say, so next time there's 2 meetings, right? There's one agenda, then there's a second agenda.
Mm-hmm.
If I get kicked out on the first one, I'm told to leave the property. And she says, I want you gone for the day. So what, I'm not allowed to come back for the second meeting? Because
That's something that you would have to seek legal advice on.
Well, I just went through it.
Okay.
And the county attorney's office said, no, you can't do that shit. Dismiss the charges.
Okay. And
So
what,
what are the police going to do? They're going to say, oh, well, the mayor wants. And so this is where my problem is, because she keeps pushing it further and further, and the police are just like, well, the mayor wants. And so because the mayor wants, that's what we're going to do.
the mayor, the chief, anybody in there
The
that
chief
has
the
city-
chief said why? Because that's what the mayor said. He's just saying, well, this is what the mayor said she wanted.
If you don't think this is right, ma'am, you do have
Oh,
to-
I know it's not right. I know for 100% it is not right. There are no 2 ways around it.
All right.
It is not right in any way, shape, or form. So I'll stand here down here by the road. Who's standing out here to yard me?
I am right over there. See, well, you can't see my vehicle.
Well, that's the thing. So I can't see your vehicle. You can't see me.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to pull right up over here, and I'll be able to watch you. Okay? And you know how it is on wild animals and dogs, trying not to run from them or anything like that. If they do start approaching you, if I'm watching, of course I'm trying to watch it, the live stream in my cruiser, I will try to come back over here.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of hard for me to pull the trigger like this.
All right. I appreciate your cooperation, Ms. Brown.
So,
All right.
just so we clarify,
Yes, ma'am. Huh?
the minute the meeting is over.
No, it's for tonight.
Right, but I asked you what does it mean by tonight, and you said when the meeting until the meeting is over.
Okay.
Okay? So what I'm saying is, once the meeting is over, that's the end of tonight.
Should have 2 more. All right. So that's all it is. I would just ask that you leave the property for today. You
Right.
said you wanted a specific timeline. I was saying tonight after the meeting. I don't know what time the meeting was going to go happen, but I'll give you this: midnight tonight, your criminal trespass can expire. So as long as I am here, the criminal trespass is in effect. And once the meeting is over, everybody leaves. Nobody else is around. Midnight comes, then you'll be allowed to be back on the property. Okay?
Everybody else leaves. It's not midnight. I can still go back on the property,
No,
though.
it's midnight. I'm going to put a time frame on it just because.
You said when the meeting is over.
I don't know when the meeting's going to be over.
But, so that's the
If
thing.
the meeting is
You're
over
watching.
past-
You're watching. I'm watching. Right.
Okay.
The meeting is over. I don't even know what fucking time it is.
It's 12 midnight.
So it's 8 o'clock. So you said once the meeting is over,
I'll put a
it's
time
8
frame
o'clock.
on
The
it.
meeting is over at 10. I can go back at 10 and get my
Midnight
stuff.
tonight, with the exception of if somebody comes out here and hands you your phone, you don't have to answer, of course, but is your vehicle on the parking lot? If it is, I have no problem with you walking on here, getting your vehicle and driving away. But if you get into your vehicle and sit around and sit in your vehicle before the midnight, then we have the same issue. Okay?
So now you're allowing her to extend past when she has control of the building.
I don't know when the meeting's going to be over.
So, but that's what I'm saying. If the meeting, you'll know when the meeting is over because she'll adjourn and she'll leave.
You're going to hold me to it.
I will,
And
because
that's
when
why
the
I'm saying
meeting
I'm gonna
adjourns,
give you at 12 midnight. If the meeting's not over by 12 midnight, then guess what? By law, I can come back out here and I can say differently.
But then-
Same thing, Miss Brown. By law, if the meeting is over with late or before then, I can come back and on criminal trespass.
Well, and that's what I'm asking you.
Okay.
So we're both going to know when the meeting adjourns. Everybody is going to leave. You're going to see all the council come out, get in their cars. The mayor's going to come out and get in her car.
Once everybody leaves, I will let you know that you are no longer criminal trespass right here. Okay?
Sure.
And I'll be parked right there this whole time. Thank you, Ms. Brown.